Hi, this is Catherine, the Careers Coordinator at East Durham College. This is going to be one of two videos, which is just completing your UCAS application form, really. The first one, hopefully you will have seen, so you have started an account already, but these two will be more to do with kind of a step-by-step guide, really, of what you need to do for each section. Like the last one, I am doing each slide one by one. So if I'm a little bit stop-starty and finish on one sentence and move position, all that sort of stuff, that's why. And then again, like the last one, very sorry if I keep repeating okays, so's, and that sort of stuff. Right, so I think let's just get into it. In this video, we will be covering the following sections: details, additional information, student finance, choices, and education. When it comes to it, you do not have to do it in this order if that's what you want. You might find that actually you want to do details, additional information, student finance all together because they're the fastest and the easiest. Education is probably one of the longer ones, and then choices you need to do quite a lot of research. And actually in the next video, that's when I'll go through choices and add them then, because you either realistically you want to do your personal statement based on your choices, so that's either going to be last or second to last that you're going to be filling in those sections. So let's just get started with the detail section. In the last video, we got our accounts sorted, everything was ready, personal ID, which is on the screen there. Hopefully you will have all saved that, taken pictures, put it wherever you can find it in the future, really. So that's where we will start off from today. So just to repeat, we are doing personal details, choices, education at this point. It will come up with those additional ones afterwards, you know, the student finance and whatnot. So if we click on personal details, some of this information should be in already from when you set up the account. Preferred name and previous surname is on there. So if, say, for example, you go by your middle name, you can put that as your preferred name. And if you've changed your surname, that would go in there as well. Is your permanent home the UK? That would be a yes for me. Obviously, that's dependent on you. Home telephone number, if you don't have one, that's fine. Mobile number, please put your own mobile number in. Country of birth, if you, I've just typed in England there. If you click on C list instead, that'll work better for you. A lot of these C lists is really the best thing for you to do because it gives you all of the answers and you don't have to type it in yourself. Anything that you can see down there that has a star on, those are the ones you definitely need to do. So like dual nationality is on there, which so you don't really have to put that in. On here, I've just noticed they don't have County Durham. They have only Durham, Darlington, Hartlepool. So just have a little bit of a look around, see which one you're down as, and then just click. So on that one, I click Durham. Residential category, UK citizen, England. I would say that's going to be most of us. Unique learner number is potentially going to be on certificates. So I'd probably recommend getting your certificates, GCSE certificates, all out and ready, because you will also need them in the education section. This bit here, passport details. I am aware that some students don't have a passport, so that's fine. It doesn't have an asterisk on, as you can see, so you don't need to put the information on there, and by all means you don't have to go and buy a passport just to fill out a UCAS application form, but if you do have that information, feel free to put it on there. Yeah, like I said though, it doesn't have an asterisk, so you don't need to. Okay, so moving on, student support underneath. Unless you have a pot of money or somebody who is going to be paying for it, you might be looking at student finance, which is fee code 2, so 02. And then after that point, you need to click on C list to see, again, put the area that we're from in there. So some people might put Hartlepool, Some people might put Durham, some people might put Darlington, that's up to you. So again, it's just searching down the list and clicking and finding it. After this, it states, have you ever lived or worked in the EU, excluding the UK? So keep that in mind, excluding the UK. So again, that's up to you and your family. If you don't know that, then good opportunity to have a conversation. Up to date with your application, that's just marketing preferences. You put that in already. Nominated access, if you feel that you are going to be on holiday and you need a parent or a guardian to contact, or if you feel a little bit shy about contacting contact centres, then nominate a family member. I put Lorna on mine. This one here, I've just paused for a quick second because this is the disability and special needs section. So if you have an EHCP plan, this is where you would put on your UCAS application form the support that you currently receive, that you want to receive in the future. If you don't have an EHCP plan, say for example you have a medical diagnosis, you would also put this information on here, but always remember that this is totally up to you. So if you don't want to include this information, then you don't have to. So yeah, it's got a couple of things in there. I think it's got mental health, it's got dyslexia, dyspraxia, ADHD. One thing that I did notice though is you can't put multiple categories in, so you might need to use the other give other details, yeah, under that bit as well. So you'd have to put both in there. But again, you don't have to if you don't want. But anyway, section completed, and then save, and then yeah, that's it for that bit. Okay, so just before we move on, I previously a little bit mentioned that I put England in rather than putting the C list, and the reason why I did that is to show you how kind of errors can pop up. So here, as you can see, the personal details, we've got 3 dots. So even though we clicked on section complete and then, you know, tick, done, it's come up to say, no, it's not. And later on, I will go back and amend that. So that's just something to kind of keep on top of. As you can see at the top here, it's got a little asterisk, you know, underneath the video there. It's got an asterisk that says, please select country of birth. And that's just, it's just having a paddy because it got typed in rather than clicked. Okay, so let's get this one started. Equality, so a lot of these technically might be used for statistics. I personally do not tend to share my religion or sexual orientation with anyone, but that's just personal preference. You may be happy to. Ethnic origin, that's up to you, that's how you feel. As well as your religion belief, that's how you feel as well. And if you identify as transgender, yeah, you can just put whatever you want. If you prefer not to say, then you don't have to. National identity and is with a star, so you have to fill that in. And dual nationality, yeah, that's not, so you don't have to fill that in. Anyway, so these ones here, activities in preparation for higher education. These are if, say, for example, you're doing support and progression, you know, Durham University do that. Or if you go to like a summer school, I know that Northumbria University do some summer activities. So that's what you need to put in there. It's not really anything like Duke of Edinburgh. It's nothing like that. It's more, say, for example, if a university has asked you to go and study with them to get some sort of extra UCAS points or something. Okay, this section at the bottom is have you ever been in care? So if you don't know what that means, I would potentially suggest that maybe you haven't been in care. So for me, that would be a no. If you put yes, you also then asked how long you were in care for, and this is again just so they can keep track of the students who may need additional support, and that are scholarships and like funding available for people who have been in care. So if you have been in care, it's worth putting it on there. just like in the disability one, really, there are actually scholarships and whatnot for that as well. Parental education is just to see if you are part of a family who have not really gone to university before. So again, this is probably for the statistics and the kind of like research purposes. So if you don't know what your parents or guardians do, great opportunity to have a little bit of a chat with them. I personally, my parents were teachers, so that's why I went for teachers first. But I end up just putting myself, which is a careers advisor, in there. Loads of different job titles, so I wouldn't say it mega matters. So just something that's close enough would do. So yeah, careers advisor is what I'll land on. And then, would you like correspondence from Welsh universities? That's up to you. Do you want to go to Wales? Move to Wales? Yeah? No? It's up to you. Okay, so we section complete, ticked that, and as you can see now we have a red tick in the little box down the, oh, what side would it be for you? Left hand side maybe? I don't know. So yeah, there's a little tick there now. So that's what we want to see. That means that we've completed the section. So if we get this one going, it's now going to pop onto choices. When it comes to choices, as previously mentioned, I will cover this a lot more in detail of how to search for the university choices later on in video 2. But I'll just go through the sections that are on there at the moment. This whole bit requires a lot of research. So a lot of research into what courses that you want to do. You need to pick ones with a good variety of entry requirements. So, you know, when you're doing this research, just write down this information and then it'll be easier for you to add them on when you decide to do this section. So you click on add a choice, and then here you have institution code, course code, campus code, start date. And again, that see list button is going to be your best friend. Yes, a lot of them should be on the UCAS website. They should be on there. But if you click on the see list button, it should come up with them as well. And like I said, on the next one, I'll show you how to do that. So yeah, it's just showing you those. And then we'll move on. Education section. This is going to be quite a big one. This might take you the most. This is probably the third most time of all of them, and that's because you've got to do a lot of clicking. You've got to add in each GCSE that you've achieved, and you've also got to add in all of the modules that you've studied. So if you did a level 2, moved on to level 3, and then now we're going on to second year level 3, you need all the modules for all of those courses. If you do not have this information, your tutors will have this information. So contact your tutors and they will be able to tell you it. Again, when it comes to this, it is quite important to put that stuff in. So if you have certificates, if you have, especially from your GCSEs, if you try and find those, because it's got awarding bodies, but if you've got like official documentation, that's going to make it easier for you. So go and have a look for that before trying to do this section. So you will mostly, I believe, be undergraduates. So you're looking at below honour degree level. Yeah, so click on that one. Click on add new school. And then in that little find box, you're putting the school that you went to. I said I went to Dean because that's the local one. Click and that should come up with the exam centre information for you already. For you, it's easy. You should know when you started and when you finished GCSE. For me, I had to do a little bit of maths and a little bit thinking about it. But for you, I'm sure you're all right on that bit. And then most of you, I would say, are probably full-time. So next one says, did you receive any qualifications? Yes. If you didn't receive any qualifications, obviously that would be a no. But if you received GCSEs, then yeah. Add new school. Okay, so East Durham College. So notice how I went with the furthest away one first and then came to the most recent one. That's probably advisable to do that. and then the start and the finish. You should be looking at about June 2021. That's when you will be finishing. You can put July. They're not gonna be fussy about it. Again, mostly full time, and yes, you will receive qualifications. Okay, so there's East Durham College in, and there is Dean in. As you can see there, it's just defaulted back to the police select, so you'd have to do that again. Right, so I believe we should be about to add in some qualifications. So starting off with GCSEs, all of these on the list are ones that I've put in there myself. So anyone who maybe studied GCSEs before numbers, then those are on there as well underneath. So it's got A to G, but I would say a lot of you are probably going to be numbers people. So that's just above there. If you can't find your qualification on this list, then just that little search box at the top, type in who the awarding body is. So if it is OCR, if it is City and Guilds, it should come up there. But these are just the popular ones that I've uploaded that students studying with us will do. Okay, so let's just start it up again. And click at some point. There we go. This is where the certificates straight away come in handy. Click, because you're selecting the course. I'm only going to do maths, English and science because those are three of the most important ones to do, that universities actually look at you having achieved a 5, depending on which courses you want to go on to. Qualification date, so these have already been achieved, OCR awarding body and the grade. So you're only doing pending and qualification date in the future for your current ones that you're doing this year, the extended diploma. So yeah, I'm just going to add the other 2. So click on that, move down to maths, qualification date. If you're studying maths and English later on at college, you don't have to put it under GCSEs. You can just leave it for the next section. So that's why you will see that. What am I picking now? I've done all of these before now. Oh yeah, look, so what I was trying to say here is double science is on there as a separate section. If you did triple science, you might have to add all 3 of them in individually because I don't think they've got a triple. As you might have noticed that I've not done any of the modules for GCSEs because I imagine a lot of you probably have multiple ones, so don't bother with those. It's just your current ones that they're probably really interested in. We have 3 GCSEs in, so I put in double science, mathematics, English language. By all means, there's more, but just for, I'm not going to sit and go through them all, so but for you would put everything. The only ones that potentially you might not want to put in is if you've got anything that's under a D. So you may, I mean, you still can if you want, but anything under a D, so that's anything under a 3, you might not want to put in, and that's fine. But anything a D or above, a 3 or above, so 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Pop them in, like really put them in. So moving on to East Durham College. When it comes to these ones, the 90 credit would be if you did 1 year of a level 3. The extended diploma is what a lot of you might be doing now. Sub-dip, again, might be 1 year of a level 3. That one there, the technical extended diploma 1080, that's a lot of the animal care students. Above that, you should have children and young people's workforce. I believe that is the childcare students. So like I said, I have tried to put a lot of these on here that you should just be able to click and find easily. What I am demonstrating now is if you did a year 1 level 3 of a different course and then moved somewhere else. So say for example you did public services and then you moved on to sports. So this is the sub dip. So it's just to show you, really what to do. It's unlikely that you'd put a level 2 qualification on this system, so it's unlikely that you'd be able to find your level 2 qualifications, but if you do want to put it on and if you find it, that's fine. So there you go, I've put that on. But now I will go on and do the extended diploma, and this is for anyone potentially doing kind of like sports science, I imagine at the moment. If you are doing A levels, you would need to add all of those in separately. So this one here, you're just doing that for the entire time. Right, so just gone back a little bit there. So we just get back to the same position that we were before. So click on that. I change my mind of the title halfway through here. So initially I started public services and then I moved to sports, which is there. Okay. Qualification date, again, that's going to be in the future if you're studying that now. So that would be June or July if you fancy doing that, 2021. Awarding organisation, if you're not sure, speak to your progression coaches, speak to your tutors. Level 3, and it would be pending. So that is for your sort of like 2-year program. So rather than putting in your first year and second year individually, you can do the 2-year program instead. If you decide, Catherine, actually I don't want to do it like that, I want to put the 2 years separately, that's fine, but this would probably give you a lot less work than that. Right now is where you add in all of the modules. So as you can see, I had gone and clicked on add more modules, down and down and down and down. So if you do like 17 modules, then that's what you're putting in. I've made these up, so don't come for me if you don't do anything to do with health and safety on sports science. But here, that's where you could maybe arrange them and do your first year modules first. So the ones that you've achieved, you could put in first and then put your grade in there with those. But then also after that, you could then do your ones for the next upcoming year, which is what I've done there. So you've got here June 2020 and then received a distinction for that one, but health and safety is June 2021, so I've just left that. So you can just leave that, or you can write pending in there, I believe, without it coming up with an error message. I have most in now, so extended diploma is in there, and I have that sub dip which I will tidy up in a minute and get rid of and show you how to delete them. I only put 2 modules in. You'll obviously have a lot more than 2 modules. Another thing is, if I have seen students in the same class with 10 modules and then some students with only 2 modules, I will kick that back to you to ask you to fill in all of the information. The reason and the purpose is that some of the courses that you might want to go on to in higher education might favour somebody who has done a module in, say, for example, health and safety, or in biology, or whatever it may be. So that is a way for you showing the universities who are going to be considering you what you have done and where maybe you've achieved more than other people because of those grades that are in there. So let me just get it started, and then I'll click on public services. So this is the one that I just put in as an example. Go down to the bottom and delete, and then OK. So it's simple as that. So if, say, for example, you're making a mistake and you want to start it again, that's what you're doing. If you want to add modules, you'd probably do something similar and click on the sport and exercise science and then add some more modules in there. So section complete and save. So what do we have? We have additional information ticked and we have education ticked, but we don't have personal details. I've not fixed that yet. So let's go on there and then amend. It was that country of birth that was the problem. So we go down. Yeah, and instead we're pressing C list and selecting when it loads. Fantastic. So double check everything else, see that there was nothing else on there. Section complete and save, which shows now we have 3 ticks, which is what we want. You'll find that student finance has popped up and that wasn't there before. That's just a case of reading the information. Yeah, okay, I've read all of these details and then save. Fantastic. So we now have 4 ticks. That's pretty much it for this video. Let me just move on to the next slide and I'll be back with you. So the last slide is just my email address. As always, any questions, any difficulties, email me. I work over summer. I'm not term time only. I am at work technically, so I am still looking at your emails. Personally, I think it would be great for you to have a head start on your UCAS form and your personal statement. So after I have uploaded these 2, I will go on to a personal statement presentation and tell you how to do that and ask you to get started so I can have a first draft when the new term starts. But up until then, have a little bit of a look around on your UCAS form, search for your certificates, get started, add in that information. Here's my email address, catherine.hasselby@eastdurham.ac.uk. Just email me for questions, okay? So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.